Hello and welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about some of the important faunal species that have been running into news. Okay? So faunal species include, we are discussing about the animals. Okay? We'll be discussing about their range, the regions they are found, IUCN status and WPA schedule list 1 or 2 or something like that. Okay? So beginning with the first species here, we are discussing about olive ridley turtles. Olive ridley turtles are inhabitant, matlab native to Caribbean region. Okay? But they do come to India's coast, and in India's coast they come up to Odisha. Okay? In Odisha, they go to 3 places for mass nesting. One is the Gahirmatha beach. Okay? Plus, they also go to the mouth of Rishikulya river, which is in the Ganjam district. Mouth of Rishikulya river. This is, sorry, mouth of Rishikulya river. This is the Ganjam district. And it is also the mouth of Devi river. They are also found in the mouth of Devi river. Okay? So, Gahirmatha in Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary, that is one place for nesting. Second is mouth of Rishikulya river in Ganjam district of Odisha, and third is mouth of the Devi river. All three together are considered to be one of the largest hatching grounds of olive ridley turtles, and the process of hatching is called as aribeda. Okay? They are one of the smallest marine turtles. Marine turtles, and they come to surface to breathe. So they will be coming whenever, even if they are migrating from Caribbean region up to Odisha, they will be coming to the surface for breathing. Okay? They are also omnivore, and that is why we have studied it in environment class, that they tend to consume plastic, because in general they consume jellyfish, and an inverted plastic polythene bag also looks like a jellyfish, so they tend to consume by mistake plastic bags also. Okay? So they are omnivores, they consume seagrass and all also, plus small crustaceans and mollusks also. Okay? In Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, okay, they have been given highest priority, matlab highest protection status is given under schedule 1. That means they cannot be traded or transported or trafficked. Okay? Plus, IUCN has granted it vulnerable status. Okay? So this is how Aribedas is taking place. They have come to the grounds for hatching, and they are moving back to shores. But other than Odisha, they also come to Tamil Nadu, Chennai. Maybe they have started mass nesting. Okay? And Ernakulam region of Kerala also they have started to come. Okay? So these are the information that we need to know about olive ridley turtles. One more information, important information about olive ridley, and that is the Ganjam district of Kerala, Odisha, is that we have heard of Kevada oil, right? Kevada oil has got GI status from Ganjam district of Odisha. Okay? Now let us move towards the next species, which is the pangolins. Okay? In India, we have two variety of pangolins that are found. One is an Indian pangolin, and the other one, this is the Indian pangolin, and the other one is a Chinese pangolin. Okay? They are scaly animals and are considered to be most trafficked wild mammals. Most trafficked wild mammals may we call pangolins at the top list. Okay? Globally. Why are they traded, trafficked? Is because of the traditional medicines that can be prepared because of the meat in their body. Okay? And 2 out of 8 pangolin varieties are found in India, as we discussed. One is Indian pangolin, the other one is Chinese pangolin. Both of them have been accorded the status of Schedule 1 in Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. They are also, Indian pangolin is considered to be endangered list. So this is an endangered list. This is in critically endangered list of IUCN. So Chinese pangolin is in critically endangered list, and we have given them, both of them, as the site of Appendix 1 in CITES. Okay? CITES is organization which is discussing about trafficking, conservation of animals, and protection, giving protection to them against trafficking of endangered species. Okay? So they have been placed under Appendix 1 of CITES. Okay? They are basically toothless and ant eaters. They are ant eaters and are toothless. They are also nocturnal and live in burrows. Plus, they will curl up as soon as they are seeing that there is some kind of danger, predators sitting in front of them. So they will curl up. Okay? And they are also called as ecosystem engineers because they will keep digging holes which allows aeration of the soil. Okay? They will be giving birth to one to maximum 3 offsprings per year. Okay? So these information we need to know about the pangolins. Moving towards the next important species, a very important species, because the entire year of 2023, elephants were into news because there were some changes being introduced in Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 since 2022 that is being opposed and continuously discussed in Parliament. Okay? So let us first know about elephants. They are the largest terrestrial mammal we know. Karnataka houses the maximum number of elephants, whereas West Bengal has the highest number of elephant corridors. If we are talking about elephant corridors, it is the West Bengal which is having the highest number. If you are talking about the total number of elephants, Karnataka has the highest number. Okay? In CMS, that is Convention of Migratory Species in land, air and water, CMS it is listed under Appendix 1, and so is its case in CITES, which is also Appendix 1. Okay? IUCN has enlisted it as a vulnerable species. Okay? And Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 this has been accorded the status of Schedule 1 animal. Okay? If we give the status of Schedule 1 animal, that means maximum amount of protection. Without the permission of Chief Wildlife Warden, you cannot transport this organism, this animal. Okay? So maximum amount of protection has been provided to Schedule 1 animals. But there is an exception to this Schedule 1 also, which is the Section 12 of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, which says that under special conditions, under exceptional circumstances, this permission to transfer them is also permitted, but strictly not for commercial purposes. This transport of organism cannot be carried out for commercial purposes. That is also mentioned in the Section 12 of Wildlife Protection Act. Okay? Now we have amended, the current government has amended the Wildlife Protection Act and said that now elephants can be transported from one region to the other for religious or any other purposes. Now this is the controversial part of the law, and that is why Wildlife Protection Act was most discussed. The amended act was being most discussed because now we have come up with a clause that they can be transported for religious and any other purposes. Now what do we mean by any other purpose? This is not clear. Okay? This has not been clarified by law. So this can be a loophole. One more reason is government has passed one more rule. Okay? This was passed in January 2024, which says captive elephants transfer or transport rules of 2024, which says that initially the earlier law was saying that if any government, state government is transporting elephant from one region to the other, let's say we are transporting from West Bengal to Gujarat, so all the chief wildlife warden of the state, the forest, which is being crossed starting from West Bengal up to Gujarat, all the state and the forest ka chief wildlife warden must give permission. Only in that case the elephant can be transferred and transported from that region. Now the new rule says that only the origin state ka chief wildlife warden of the that forest and the destination state ka chief wildlife warden से ही permission लेने की जरूरत है, and then the transfer can be carried out. ठीक है? So that is why it was also being discussed. So we have basically reduced the protection provided to elephants, ठीक है, in India. And elephants were also into news because government has come up with new corridors, new elephant corridors across the country. A total number of 60 new elephant corridors has been introduced, amongst which West Bengal has the highest number of elephant corridors. Okay. Now moving on to the next organism, this is the sloth bear. Sloth bear have a special characteristic, and this is the identification of a sloth bear. Okay? A V or a U-shaped white patch will be present on the body of the sloth bear. Okay? And sloth bears, just like pangolins, will also be carrying their babies at their back. Okay? If we are talking about the protection that has been provided to them, IUCN has categorized it as vulnerable species. Wildlife Protection Act 1972 we have mentioned them as Schedule 1. Schedule 1 species. CITES may be Appendix 1 species. ठीक है. They are also trafficked. Sloth bear is also trafficked for the gallbladder. Their gallbladder is good to make traditional medicine, plus the skin. ठीक है. So leather bags are made out of the skin of sloth bear. ठीक है. 90% of the global population of sloth bear is found in India, but apart from India, it is also found in Sri Lanka and Nepal. 90% of global sloth bear population is found in India. Apart from India, it is also found in Nepal and Sri Lanka. ठीक है. Where do they inhabit? They inhabit the dry and moist forest region, but also in certain grasslands. Apart from this, they also inhabit grasslands. ठीक है. They are nocturnal animals and they will use claws. So their claws are exceptionally longer than a normal Himalayan brown bear or a normal Himalayan black bear. Their claws are exceptionally longer and they will make use of these claws to dig into the holes so that they can reach up to ants and termites upon which they feed. Okay? So to excavate termites, but they have a poor sense of sight as well as hearing, but they have a very strong sense of smell, using which they can find out where are termites and ant holes. Okay? One also interesting thing about sloth bear is they can completely close their nostrils completely. So when they are sucking up the termite, none of them will be entering into their nose because they have the capability of closing it completely. Okay? Plus, Kalandar community, which was not initially not an inhabitant of India, they have come from Pakistan and Afghanistan region. Kalandar community have been historically, it was their business to make the bears dance and earn money using that, using this dancing bears. So the kind of bear that they have mostly used was a sloth bear. So Kalandar community के लिए they were discussing कि one of the challenge for Kalandar community is because their primary mode of occupation was the dancing bear and entertainment of people and getting money out of it. Now the Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1 में डाल देने की वजह से we have not been able to provide them with adequate employment. ठीक है? But we can give them alternative employments. Alternative employment. For that we do not need to risk the life of sloth bear. ठीक है? Now moving on to the next animal or sorry bird, which is the lesser flamingo. Okay. Lesser flamingo. We have greater as well as lesser flamingo capital. Within India, it is Gujarat. Gujarat is considered to be the capital of lesser flamingos as well as greater flamingos. Okay. IUCN has given them the status of near threatened and asides maybe appendix 2 ka protection we have provided them. Appendix 2 protection matlab they are relatively less protected as compared to their to other species. ठीक है? They are monogamous in nature. Monogamous in nature matlab parent, father and mother will take care of the child unless the child has become independent. So they are monogamous and they live in coastal and inland wetland areas. ठीक है? Males are usually taller than females और हमारे यहाँ lesser flamingos come to which all water bodies? It is Pulicat Lake and that is why it was in news because after 6 years they have returned back to Pulicat Lake. Apart from Pulicat Lake, they are also found in Chilka Lake of Odisha and Kutch. As we discussed, Gujarat is the capital of flamingos, greater and lesser flamingos. Plus Thane Creek. Thane Creek also has a flamingo sanctuary. ठीक है? So they are found in Thane Creek, Kutch, Pulicat Lake as well as Chilka Lake. Okay? They were also into news at Lake Natron in Tanzania because of mining of soda ash. Soda ash is a chemical substance which was being mined across this lake, which was affecting the population of lesser flamingos, and that is why internationally lesser flamingos were into news. Okay? Now moving on to the next species, this is the saltwater crocodile. Saltwater crocodile, IUCN status is least concern. So we do have abundant number of them. Okay? But saltwater crocodile is considered to be the largest crocodilian species, largest of all crocodiles. Okay? And they are also the largest reptile in the world. In talking about the status of protection, Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 mein we have given them Schedule 1 ka protection, although IUCN does not call them as threatened number. They call them as least concern. Okay? They are found, although the name is saltwater crocodile, they are found in salt water also, fresh water also. So they can move from fresh water to salt water. They have the or that osmoregulation capacity. Osmoregulation capacity. They can regulate the salt movement in and out of their body. Okay? Plus, they also communicate using hissing, growling sounds. In India, they are found in Bhitarkanika National Park. Okay? Apart from this, they are also found in Sundarbans and Andaman and Nicobar Island. Sundarban is the largest patch of mangroves in the world. Second largest in India is Bhitarkanika. Second largest mangrove cover. In India is Bhitarkanika National Park. And then saltwater crocodile is found in Odisha's Bhitarkanika. Then they are also found in Andaman and Nicobar region and Sundarban. Okay? Now moving on to the next species, which is Gharial. Gharials have IUCN status as critically endangered. So their number is quite low, less than 50. Okay? IUCN accords them critically endangered status, and how do we identify them is the elongated mouth. So alligators do not have an elongated mouth. They have the mouth of a normal crocodilian species only. Okay? So we can differentiate between alligators and normal crocodile because alligators have relatively extended face. Okay? But this is the special feature of a gharial, that the mouth, only the mouth part is highly extended. Okay? Gharial are put up in Appendix 1 of CITES, and Wildlife Protection Act of 1971 1972 maybe we have given them Schedule 1 ka status, matlab highest protection accorded. Okay? They are freshwater crocodiles, so they do not live in salt water. India mein they are found in Chambal. Okay? Otherwise, in general, they are found in India as well as Nepal. Within India, they are found in Chambal Sanctuary. Okay? Bihar government, due to their efforts of conservation of gharial on Gandak River, they have been able to develop second successful breeding site for gharials just after the Chambal Sanctuary, National Chambal Sanctuary. This is the number 1 breeding site. This is the second breeding site in Gandak River. Okay? Plus, they have also been reintroduced in Beas Conservation Reserve in Punjab. This was done in 2021. Beas Conservation Reserve mein they have been reintroduced. Okay? And we have a rehabilitation center for gharials in Lucknow. So we do have the presence of gharials in Chambal River, in Gandak River, in Beas River, and now in Gomti River also. Okay? The next species is black buck. Okay? Black bucks are kept under endangered list of IUCN. Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, maybe we have given them very serious protection, that is under Schedule 1. Okay? But in CITES, they have been kept under Appendix 3. Black bucks are known as Indian antelopes. They are known as Indian antelopes. You can see the kind of horn they have, that is very much similar to an antelope, but not exactly a Western antelope, so we call them as Indian antelope. Okay? And the coloration of the black buck will totally depend upon the gender. Okay? These species are diurnal species, and they have been declared as the state animal of Punjab as well as Haryana and Andhra Pradesh. Okay? Otherwise, we know that the black bucks are a very important species, revered species for Bishnoi community of Rajasthan. Okay? Okay. And sea lions are the last species for which IUCN status we have accorded them as vulnerable. IUCN status of sea lions is vulnerable. Okay? They are found in shoreline, inland and sandy beaches, and this is how a sea lion looks like. Okay? Sea lions are mostly found in colder waters. Okay? And to some extent they are also found in Caribbean region. Okay? To the beach of Mexico. In the beaches of Mexico, why was it running into news? Globally, why was sea lion into news? Is because hundreds of sea lion have been found either dead or sick at the coast of Mexico. Okay? So they are found in cold waters, and in some region they are found in warmer waters also. Okay? So for that reason, sea lions have been running into news. They are carnivorous species, so they feed on fishes. Sea lions mostly feed on fishes and other aquatic species. Okay? Now with that we come to the end of important species that were into news in the year 23 to 24. I wish you all the very best and thank you so much.